Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1986 Toyota Corolla AE86. Up front is a 1.6 liter inline 4, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this AE86 for 2 reasons. First of all, it's an AE86. I love driving these cars. I've driven several here on the channel, and they're lovely. However, this one actually has a JDM 1.6 liter 4AGE under the hood. So the owner has swapped it from the original motor into this. This is the 20 valve, this is that motor. And so today I am so incredibly excited to share it with you. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 4AGE under the hood. I'm gonna say it, if you're familiar with Initial D, this is it. They have factory individual throttle bodies. The intake on this vehicle has been swapped to make it a little bit prettier. And don't worry, people who might be freaking out. Yes, it does normally have an air filter on it. We took it off for the B-roll, so don't worry, it does have a filter, but it just looks prettier without it for the footage when non-running. And it is the 20 valve, meaning 5 valves per cylinder. 3 intake valves, 2 exhaust valves. And basically what that does is it helps the engine breathe better. It brings more air in, it can get more air out quickly or quicker, and then you make more power. And so this is kind of the holy grail engine when it comes to the AE86. Now here in the States, we didn't get the Corolla with this engine. We got a 16 valve, which is a 4 valve per cylinder engine. And it was still good, it was still fun, but this is gooder and funner. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission. Feels great, shifts great, really, truly wonderful. Everything I want out of a shifter. Very direct, very notchy, very confidence-inspiring. And that's stock here. Bolts up to the motor. Simple. Last but not least, about the drivetrain, this generation of Corolla was the final generation to be rear-wheel drive. So very, very cool to experience that. How does it feel to drive the 4AGE swapped Corolla? It's almost hard to put into words, but the word that I keep coming back to is freedom. The engine doesn't feel restricted. It doesn't feel like it's struggling to breathe. It doesn't feel like it has any hesitations. It's like running in an open field or swimming in the world's largest swimming pool. You have the freedom to do and go wherever you want, and there are no restrictions. That's how this motor feels. Now, of course, it is still going to be limited on how much horsepower you can make, just physically and thermodynamically. But driving it, the sensation that you get is one of flying in the wind. This must be how birds feel when they swoop out of trees. It's just so incredibly great. And that's the thing that unlocks this car when you swap the 4AGE, is you just feel freer, you feel more open, and it is everything that the AE86 could ever be. Under your right foot, left foot, and right arm. Other than that, you know, this vehicle is on coilovers. However, they're not very crashy, so they actually ride really, really nice. Visibility is great because it's an 80s car, and everything else attached to it is just downright wonderful. Yeah, that's what I wanted. This is the ad-free version of the AE86. This is everything it was meant to be. Am I splitting the atom behind the wheel? No, this is still not like a really fast, crazy car, but it just opens it up a lot more, and it feels like a glass full rather than a couple sips taken out. That's what you get with the 4AGE. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. We'll talk about it relatively quickly. Well, in front of me, I have the 5 standard gauges. So off to the left is coolant temperature, oil pressure, and tachometer, and off to the right is speedometer and fuel. The steering wheel's been swapped out for a Momo unit. Pretty standard operation there. And off to the left, we do have our headlight settings and climate control vent. And moving out of the door, we have the crank for the window. Latch you get in and out, and that's it. Moving into the center, we do get a digital clock as well as 2 climate vents and of course a dash mat for these 80s cars here in San Diego is basically life support. We have our climate controls. We do have AC, which has been removed, but it was originally in a factory AC car. 12-volt outlet, cigarette lighter, ashtray, aftermarket radio, cubby, shifter in the center, as I mentioned, factory 5-speed. Love it. Handbrake in the center console, and of course we don't get any cup holders here in the AE86, so it fails the big friggin' bottle test. The seats are comfortable as well. They are very, very 90s seats to be expected out of a vehicle like this. The owner has kept this mostly original from that point on. The seats are bouncy, they look good, and we do, unfortunately for me, have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, probably one of my least favorite things in the whole wide world is to get into the back of 80s coupes, but we'll do it here today. Moving the seat all the way up, stepping in. I'm in the back of an AE86. Probably one of my least favorite places to be. I would much rather be right there, driving, using that, and that, and that, and that, but I will take sitting back here. It's fine. It is a coupe, pretty tight back seat, nothing really to report, but pretty awesome hat and some glasses. So very, very cool. Yeah, my legs probably aren't gonna fit back here all too well, but I do have a little push pedal to allow me to help get out. No thumbs up back here, but double thumbs up for that engine. So let's get back to that in a second. So this is considered the coupe. So there was the hatch, which is the more famous Initial D style back. I'll show that here. I drove a Initial D American replica, but this is the coupe, so it actually has a trunk. And Toyota in the 80s was smarter than American brands and could make one key that did everything. There's the trunk. The owner, Joe, is ready for a beach day here today, so I won't delay him too much longer, but that's what you get. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I adore the look of the AE86. I think it's one of the prettiest 80s cars, and you just get this sort of sensation in your chest anytime you see one. At least I do personally. Maybe I should get that looked at. But it is a very, very good looking car. We're filming it here in San Diego, SoCal. What a wonderful, wonderful treat. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the 4AGE swapped AE86? Well, as I kept mentioning with the rest of the car, it just feels unrestricted. This engine is like the final key or the final puzzle piece to create the ending masterpiece. Driving these regular AE86s with the American market engines, the 16 valves, they're still good, but it just feels like a couple of pieces are missing. This completes it. This is finished. This is a finished whole product, and that's what this swap is able to do. The regular engines we got here are burgers. I love a good burger, a great juicy burger, all the fixins. But without cheese, there is just a touch missing. The cheese really adds a little something at the end. It's the crescendo. It's the sort of beautiful send-off. That's what the 4AGE is. It's the cherry on top. It's the garnish around the exterior. It's a fully framed photo as opposed to just a printed out picture with some scotch tape holding it on the wall. That's what this car feels like. I could go on with a million different analogies of what it is, what it isn't, how it is, why it is. But the matter of the fact is that this is just it. That's all it is. It's it. If you asked me how to spell AE86, I would say it's spelled HIM. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Joe for not only letting me borrow his AE86, but bringing it out here to Fiesta Island, San Diego, so I could film it this morning. He's been absolutely wonderful to work with. Such a down-to-earth, awesome guy, and I very much appreciate him bringing this car around. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.